Hello and welcome back to Brit article, where the tea is hot but the political takes are scorching. If the British Conservative Party were a ship right now, it wouldn't just be hitting an iceberg, it would be charging at the iceberg, demanding the iceberg pay for its own relocation, and then wondering why the hull is leaking. Just when you thought the blue wall couldn't get any more cracks, Nigel Farage has decided to turn those cracks into a full-blown demolition derby. We're talking defections, drama, and enough shade to cover the entire Palace of Westminster. Before we dive into the chaos that is the Tory exodus, do me a massive favour, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It's the only way to stay updated on the ever-spinning carousel of British politics without losing your mind. Done it? Brilliant. Let's get into the carnage. Now, picture this. You're a Conservative Party strategist. You wake up, check your emails, and find out that not one, not two, but three more councillors have decided that the grass is significantly greener and much more purple on the Reform UK side of the fence. We're talking about Lawrence Ball from Sevenoaks, Clarence Mitchell from Reading, and Barry Manners from Thanet. It's like a political game of Among Us, and the Tories are realising the imposters have been there all along. But while three councillors might sound like a local government headache, the real earthquake actually hit earlier this week with a man who used to hold the keys to the nation's piggy bank. But hold your horses, because if you thought local councillors jumping ship was the headline, you haven't seen the big beast-sized hole left in the Tory front line. We need to talk about the man of the hour, or perhaps the man of the tax return, Nadim Zahawi. The political world did a collective double-take on Monday when Zahawi, the former Chancellor of the Exchequer, stood shoulder to shoulder with Nigel Farage. This isn't just a backbench rebellion, this is a former cabinet heavyweight essentially saying the Tory party is a sinking dinghy and Farage is the only one with a life jacket. Zahawi claimed Britain is drinking at the Last Chance Saloon, which, to be fair, is where most of us feel we've been for the last decade, and insisted that the country really does need Nigel Farage as Prime Minister. It's a statement so bold it makes a ghost pepper look like a cucumber. Naturally, Nigel Farage is absolutely beaming. He's leaning into this with the energy of a man who'd just found a £20 note in an old pair of trousers. He says these moves prove Reform UK isn't just a one-man band anymore. It's becoming a full-blown orchestra of disgruntled ex-Conservatives. But, as with everything in Westminster, there's always a but big enough to block the Thames. While Nigel is celebrating his new recruits, the Conservative Party isn't exactly sending good luck cards. In fact, the counter-attack has been nothing short of savage. If you thought politics was about polite disagreement, think again. This is a playground scrap with expensive suits. Conservative sources haven't just been grumbling, they've been briefing with the subtlety of a sledgehammer. Their version of the Zahawi story: he didn't leave because of conviction, he left because of a no. Specifically, a no to a peerage. According to Tory insiders, Zahawi asked for a seat in the House of Lords multiple times and was told, in no uncertain terms, to jog on. The reasoning? Well, there was that tiny, insignificant matter of being sacked for breaching the ministerial code over his dodgy tax affairs. You know, the kind of thing that usually makes a career in the Lords a bit of a hard sell. A Tory source didn't hold back, calling Reform UK a repository for disgraced politicians. It's a brutal line, framing Farage's party not as a vanguard of the people, but as a lost property bin for people the Tories didn't want anymore. It's the ultimate "you didn't dump me, I dumped you" of political breakups. But regardless of the motivation, the optics are disastrous for the government. When your former Chancellor says the opposition leader should be Prime Minister, embarrassing doesn't quite cover it. It's like the captain of the England team suddenly turning up in a German kit and shouting "Vorsprung durch Technik." But wait, there's a pattern emerging here. Zahawi isn't a lone wolf. He's part of a growing pack of high-profile names who have decided that the Conservative brand is about as trendy as a VHS player in a Netflix world. The list of defectors is starting to look like a who's who of the Tory right wing. We've got Danny Kruger, the MP for East Wiltshire, who's already made the jump. We've got Dame Andrea Jenkins, now the Mayor of Greater Lincolnshire, who seems to have traded her blue scarf for a reform-themed one. And then there's the queen of the Boris or Bust movement herself, Nadine Dorries. For the Conservatives, this is a multi-front war. On one side, they're trying to keep the moderate voters from sliding toward the Lib Dems or Labour. On the other side, their right flank is being hollowed out by Farage, who is essentially running a vacuum cleaner over their core membership. Every time a figure like Zahawi or Dorries jumps ship, it validates the idea to voters that the real Conservatives are now over at Reform. It's a branding nightmare. If the Tories are the establishment, Farage is positioning himself as the insurgency. And right now, the insurgents are winning the recruitment battle. So, where does this leave us? Is this the end of the two-party system as we know it, or just a very loud, very expensive midlife crisis for the British right wing? The sheer volume of these defections suggests that the reform threat is no longer just a ghost story the Tories tell each other at conference. It's a reality that's eating their house from the inside out. Farage is playing a long game, aiming to replace the Conservatives as the primary opposition, or perhaps even the primary party of the right. Whether these defectors are disgraced or disenchanted almost doesn't matter to the average voter. What matters is the perception of chaos. The Tories are currently like a landlord trying to fix a leak while the tenants are literally moving their furniture into the next house. With every councillor and every ex-minister that flips, the momentum shifts. Is Farage actually going to be Prime Minister? That's a tall order, but is he going to make the lives of the Conservative leadership an absolute misery for the foreseeable future? You can bet your bottom British pound on it. Thanks for watching Brit Article. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the Westminster circus, make sure to like the video and let me know in the comments. Is Reform UK a genuine alternative or just a repository for disgraced politicians like the Tories claim? I'll see you in the next one.